My name is dissimilar, and I'm here to steal your lunch. Every week, we take over a break room and give the quality ingredients there to our gourmet chefs and see what they can turn them into. This week, we are at AXYZ Upholstery, where our chefs have taken over their break room, and our sponsors have brought in the gourmet food truck Pizza on the Cart to provide award-winning pizza, pasta, chicken, and desserts while we see what those employees brought for lunch. Let's meet our chefs. Chef Dan Hawking's family has run the roadside diner in Arlington, Texas for 4 generations, but he expanded it into 4 new locations, each featuring, respectively, Texas barbecue, classic French cuisine, authentic Chinese seafood, and an edgy vegetarian atmosphere. Chef Julie Meisland opened the Family Cafe in Aurora, Colorado 5 years ago to provide guests with a unique family-style French dining experience that has a waiting list a month long. Finally, we are proud to invite 8th-generation French chef Peter Nantes from the one and only Sunrise Tea Room in New Orleans, French Quarter, where it has been since the founding of the city. As our chefs wail and gnash their teeth at what they have to work with, let's meet the judges. Bruce Pyler is a food writer from the Northeast Corridors, who is most famous for his encyclopedic work chronicling the rise and development of the Philly cheesesteak. Hannah Givhan is an art gallery curator from Albuquerque, whose monthly high teas have garnered global attention. And finally, we welcome Patricia Meredith, an animator whose work speaks for itself. Last but not least, here are the rules the show is played by. $10,000 is up for grabs, courtesy of today's sponsor, my book, Fun and Safe Socially Distanced Travel, The Lost Art of Quests and Pilgrimages in the Age of Pandemics and Inflation. There are 3 dishes, an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. Each judge will judge the dish on a scale from 1 to 5 based on use of ingredients, originality, theme, plating, and taste. Now, the first 2 courses will feature 3 chefs, but the main course will eliminate one of the chefs, leaving only 2 to judge about dessert. And without further ado, let's see what our chefs have produced. Today's theme will be brunch. First up, the appetizers. Now, Chef Dan Hawking has drawn from the break room refrigerator salsa, saltines, ham, and sweet tea. Using the techniques of reducing sauces into a breading glaze, he produced a force meat ham with a sweet and tangy breaded glaze. Okay, let's see what the judges have to say. Interesting. I see. All right. Chef Julie Meisland drew sprinkles, powdered mini donuts, chicken tenders, and ginger ale. She produced an appetizer of sweet and spicy chicken stuffed cake pops using a reduction of ginger ale. The judges were impressed by her reduction of the ginger ale to create a tart counterbalance to the sweetness of the donuts and the melted candy coating from the sprinkles. With a different balance, this would be a dessert. But the quantity of chicken in that cake pop and her reliance on the tanginess of the ginger ale turned it into a hearty appetizer. All right, let's see what the judges have to say. I see. All right. All right, moving on. Chef Peter Nante drew from the break room hollandaise sauce, popcorn, shrimp, and sour candy. He produced shrimp on popcorn croquettes with a hollandaise sauce using pureed popcorn with sweetened sour candy in it. Wow. Let's pause to admire that croquette. Chef Nante literally popped the corn, then pureed all of it, then added the reduced sour candy to it, then baked it into a croquette. Let's see what the judges seem to think of this. All right, that is impressive. I like it. And that's the appetizers, friend. So, we have the appetizers being cleared from the table. Now, we move on to the main course. Chef Hawking once again opens the competition. He has drawn from somewhere he really would rather not. Horseradish sauce, onions, canned tuna, and fruit punch drink mix. Every gourmet chef's favorite. Here's what he turned out. Sweet and spicy tuna salad over glazed roasted onions. This is a very nice use of the fruit punch and horseradish to balance each other out. By changing that balance, he created two distinct ingredients, the onions and the salad. So, let's see what the judges think. All right. Very, very nice. Moving on to Chef Nieslin. She drew, once again from somewhere awful, coffee, kiwi fruit, minute white rice, and mandarin oranges. She produced a main course of rice dumplings with a caramelized surface filled with coffee fruit puree. Now, folks, this shows why people have to wait so long for her table. This was a tough main course because of the fruit. But by weighting the sweet fruit with the bitter dark roast coffee flavors, she balanced the sweetness that could have eliminated this as a good main course. Pureeing the rice and making a dumpling was good enough, but she went further, caramelizing the surface to change the entire texture of the dish. Let's see what the judges thought. Very, very interesting. All right. And our final main course, Chef Nante brought out from his nightmare Alfredo sauce, toaster pastries, chocolate pudding, and ginger ale. Wow, what a combination. He produced Alfredo lasagna with layers of tart chocolate pie crust. Now, this was quite a challenge, but wow, he rose to it. Pop-Tarts and chocolate pudding for a main dish. He did exactly what Chef Nieslin did earlier, reducing the ginger ale for its tangiest flavor. The toaster pastry was stripped of its frosting and the interior goo. Then it was soaked in a mixture of Alfredo sauce, ginger ale, and diluted chocolate pudding. Finally, he reduced the Alfredo sauce itself, increasing its creamy potency, and created not a cheesy dessert, but a cheese-infused chocolate pastry that, quite frankly, I think many people would eat at nearly any meal. So, let's see what we're looking at. This is the judge's opinion. Very high, very good. And that's the main course. Now we're facing the desserts. Here's the score. Dan Hawking is at 115. Chef Mieslin is at 111. And Peter Nante is at 131. So, Chef Mieslin will be leaving our company, sadly, but she's receiving a full set of my books, which can be found by searching Amazon.com for D. Lanier Shook. Since October, I've published 5 books, and I'm planning to publish 1 or 2 every month this year. Now for dessert. Dessert opens with Chief Hawking. He draws pesto, muffins, and an orange slushy. Obviously, great dessert fodder, but let's see what he does. Chief Hawking produces an orange cake pops with a crunchy pastry center fried in pesto. Now, creating the cake pop from a muffin and even soaking that muffin in the orange slushy was a good move. But to take a chunk of that pop, soak it in pesto, and then fry it for a nice crunch, creates a whole new savory dessert that is perfect for brunch, since it won't ruin your appetite for lunch. If anything, it's going to enhance it. Let's see what the judges think. Wow, that's impressive. In my opinion, it was the lightness of the dish that drew them in. Chef Nante has a high bar to cross. Let's see if he can do it. He draws nacho cheese sauce, a honey bun, fried fish, and pickle juice. And he produces a dessert fish taco with pickle-flavored nacho cheese sauce on the side. Whoa. The simplicity of this dish is matched only by the genius of the pickle cheese sauce. Yes, the honey bun taco shell soars off into the sweet skies. But the combination of pickle and nacho is just too much. It drags it back under the sour cheesiness it offers. But the two balance each other out and just beg for the solid anchor of the fish fillet. What a dish! Let's see what the judges think. They agree. And this is a most remarkable turn of events. In the dessert category, we have a draw. Therefore, the prize will be split. What happens in the kitchen is unexpected, but typically delicious. I want to thank all our chefs, judges, and my book, Fun and Safe Socially Distanced Travel, The Lost Art of Quests and Pilgrimages in the Age of Pandemics and Inflation, for sponsoring the show. If you like the show, click subscribe so we can let you know when the next episode drops, and buy a copy of my book so we can bring you even more amazing culinary creations. Finally, our legal team wants me to let you know that we do our best not to violate copyrights, but if we mention you or your product, let us know. so we can stop giving you free advertising. Thank you for joining us for this episode, and hopefully the next one will be even better and tastier.